Hey everybody, welcome back to OJohnny Bright. I'm going to share 7 things on what I believe you could take away from why you should train in MMA or why you should keep going. And these are things that I have taken away whenever I first started up to today. And this is my 100 sessions of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu update. So I'm just going to dive right in and hopefully you could take away something from this video. So number one, it builds motivation. Motivation definitely is like a very big key. Definitely like one of the biggest stepping stones whenever you're starting to do mixed martial arts. Whether that could be like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, kickboxing, wrestling, and any others. And that definitely is like a first major step. And that usually happens whenever you're in like your first 6 months of training. It could be less for some, it could be more for some, but usually 6 months is where you usually start to pick it up a little bit. So number two, it builds confidence. So it builds confidence whenever you're trying to do some techniques. So like, doesn't mean that you're gonna be fluent at every single move. Absolutely not, because things are always changing. But you always know the core concepts whenever you start. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll know right from the beginning. No, but will you learn that as you continue to grow and grow? Of course, and that's what it takes to keep moving on in mixed martial arts. So, like, do you have these techniques down? What's your athleticism? And it varies from person to person. So yeah. So number three, it builds strength, and there are many ways to determine strength. So what I mean by strength is like for one example, if you were trying to lose like a significant amount of weight, this will definitely help you, like depending on how much you train, of course. But like, let's say you were training like 3 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week, and you did like an hour and a half of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and so that's 4.5 hours a week. So like if you have like a calorie count, like you keep track of how many calories you eat during the day, and you definitely try to lose that weight, and that'll definitely help you like build some more muscle, and that'll definitely help it whenever you're you have like a significant amount of fat. And I didn't mean it like being a mean in a way. Like I'm not trying to judge anybody, but like it definitely helped me whenever when I started on day one, because I was way bigger than I was back then, and it definitely helped me whenever I kept on rolling. and and it could help for younger students and older students. So like it's not going to be just me, of course. So yeah. So number four, it definitely builds speed. Why? And speed is like a very specific thing whenever you're like going to like a tournament or whatever. Like you try to go fast and fast and fast and fast and fast, and you keep going and going and going. Like in the beginning, it's like wear and tear, and then as you start to build it, you're like, oh, I'm starting to know this. Like I'm starting to get faster. It's definitely something I will do whenever I get into the future. Like whenever I keep going to black belt, and yeah. Now I am not a black belt in the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu yet, so this is definitely something to take away. Like as you keep on moving forward. So number five, it relieves stress. Now there are many certain variables of stress. Like it has the good stress whenever you have to work it inside the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, like saying, "Oh, this technique is not working," or "I'm good at doing this, but something else doesn't work." So that is where you take the time. You're like stress this thing. It's hard. Like I have to remember all this. So that's the time whenever you have that good stress. Now, it also takes away the bad stress whenever you have stuff like outside of the mats or anywhere for that matter. Just like whenever whenever you're trying to keep training and training and training, and it definitely takes away like the stuff outside the world, and it definitely is something to take away whenever you're going onto the mat. So like it's definitely a good way to keep training during the week. It gives you time. It's definitely the most valuable time to do it. Now, it may not be much, but it definitely takes up some of your day. So that's what I believe. So number 6, it advances your lifestyle. So it really advances your lifestyle. Now, it could be start to finish for some people, but if you're like if you started young and you were working and you got your black belt whenever you're like 20 or whatever, it'll definitely help you keep moving forward. Like depending on where you train and wherever, and depending on how many people, it definitely is something. Whenever you have like a part-time job, I'd say this will be a good part-time job, but not a full-time job because whenever you're trying to do like a lot of finance, it's not gonna be enough to do a living. I mean, unless if you do it in like your house, so like in your basement or whatever. But it's definitely a good part-time job, and it's definitely something to take away for business related things because like for one example, I am very good at doing music and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the same time. I can't do both at once because that's multitasking. That will never work. So a good schedule to keep is like the first half you could do music, and then the second half you could do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, depending on what days it is, of course. But if it's like something like that, I'll take that away. So number 7, and this is definitely like the most important, is being ready on the streets. Now, I get this a lot from training in martial arts, so Um, that is why each belt color in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu has like a different timeline. So like white belt means like you definitely are a beginner. You're not like the most fluent on the street yet. So that's where you take the time as you keep on building up to where you are going, and it's something to keep punching, punching, and punching forward. Um, Not actually punching, but like metaphorically punching. So yeah, um, it's definitely symbolic. So yes, it's definitely something to keep going with, and whenever you're in like a real life situation, that'll definitely help you as you keep on moving forward. And this could be anywhere, like either indoors or outdoors. Whenever trouble occurs, this will definitely help you as you keep on moving forward, trying to do self defense whenever someone tries to attack you. So to end this video off, I really hope that you take something away. This is my 100 Brazilian Jiu Jitsu sessions update. So I'm going to do it every single 100 sessions. So this is 100. So the next one will be 200. And that is really how I think that you could take away something that I've learned whenever training it in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So if there's anybody that watches this video, I really hope you keep learning. I hope you keep rolling. And those that just watch this video, I hope you start rolling because it'll definitely help you whenever you're in a real situation. So the next video will be on 200 sessions, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.